The $24 million Longines Hong Kong Sprint is the richest turf race, Group 1 race, run over that distance in the world. We've got a good, strong lineup as well. International runners, Hong Kong and Japan. The field is led by Hot King Prawn, John Sires, Ryan Moore. Pixie Knights for Japan, last start winner of the Sprinter Stakes. Down on Smash, last year's winner. Wellington, who won the Chairman's Sprint Trophy last season. Lucky Patch has been brilliant in his last two starts. Skyfield, Blake Sheen gets the plum inside gates there. Computer Patch, Naboo Attack, amazing star. Courier Wonder, and down to Resistencia. And Christophe Soumillon in town. He'll jump from barrier number 7. Won the Centaur Stakes, two starts back, did Resistencia, beating Pixie Knight. So good to fast, we're saying here, Mark. It should be on from the get-go.
It should. That should allow some gaps in the field too. With Computer Patch, we know he likes to lead. Courier Wonder goes forward. Hot King Prawn from barrier number 2, Paul. You think he can drop in? Now, Pixie Knight might need some of those gaps, because if he does have to sit 3 wide without cover, as good as he is, he might not be able to win this race.
Yeah, that's the key, I think. So Resistencia and Pixie Knight are both can go for that same run, and Resistencia in the Sky Sprinter Stakes did get out quicker than Pixie Knight. That's why it's there. Now, Lucky Patch will probably try and drag back and get that midfield run like he did last time. And if he does, there is probably an option for Pixie Knight to get back just in behind Resistencia. So there is a possibility there. Amazing Stars drawn wide. I think he's going to find it tough.
He'll be big odds trying to replicate a Group 2 win from last season. Den on Smash from last year. He's going back from the draw, and Naboo Attack, Andrew. You know, he likes to go back in the field and try and rampage over the top of it.
Absolutely. I imagine he'll be swinging wide into the straights. Well, let's have a look at a couple of stats. So Den on Smash won it last year. But again, Mark, it's been a bit of a stronghold for the Hong Kong horse. You've got to go back to 2013 to find the last winner from overseas.
It has indeed. Den on Smash, Ryan Moore's riding Hot King Prawn this year, so he won't be partnering Den on Smash, looking to go back to back. He's got a better draw. And there's the fun fact, Paul, that's the only overseas country to have won each of the 4 international races.
Yeah, and well represented in this one as well.
Of course, that horse in 2013 was the mighty Lord Kanaloa as well. What of this year, though? Let's start off with David Hayes, the trainer of Naboo Attack.
David, Naboo Attack, you've just drawn barrier number 6 in the HKIR Sprint. A very successful barrier down through the years. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's a good barrier because you don't have to go too far back. And he's a swooper, and he'll probably settle midfield now. Last time he won, that was the position he settled in. So we're very happy.
And certainly gives you options, obviously, from gate number 6. And his run last time in the Jockey Club Sprint was a very pleasing one. Yeah,
that makes it always harder when you draw the outside. So I haven't really studied what the opposition have drawn at this stage, but I won't swap my barrier for any of them.
And just on his track work, David, obviously you're very happy with his preparation leading into the big day?
I thought his lead-up was first class, and the start before his lead-up, he had no luck, so just ignore that run. So since he's been in Hong Kong, he's never put a bad run forward, so I don't expect him to not run a very, very good race.
There you go. Not run a very, very good race. So what do you think, Mark?
Yes, definitely. Chance, Andrew, with the pace on, if you get to the outside, and he'll be finishing very hard at the end, Paul. He's come up 8.1, 2.2. Do you think he'd be around that price in early betting?
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer. I thought 8 or 9 with some of these other ones in. But look, it's he's going to get his opportunity if they go overcook it in front, there's no doubt, because we know he's got a good finish on him.
Yeah, it has been quite a rapid rise for him as well. Naboo Attack, winning at the Chief Executives Cup on the opening day, now in the Group 1. This is the Jockey Club Sprint, Paul, and Lucky Patch, I've certainly underestimated him. He's won his last 2 now.
Yeah, and look, this is where he came from, that midfield run, didn't he? He got to the middle of the track. I think Zach Purdon will be trying to do something similar here, and look, I think he's the best of the locals. He's just going in really well at the moment. I mean, Courier Wonder, he's just ran around a little bit there under a bit of pressure, and he can see Naboo Attack coming down the outside there.
You can. Bit of an excuse. Skyfield copped a bump, and Hot King Prawn got a really strong bump from inside and out when the Courier Wonder wanted to run over the track. So he's better than the 8 next to his name.
Yeah, I think Wellington will improve for that as well, not knocked around there. So that's the Jockey Club Sprint. We're going to have a look at the Sprinters Stakes now, Mark. This is, of course, the main lead-up as far as the Japanese horses are concerned, with their 3 runners engaged.
Yeah, this was just a perfect trip for Pixie Knight. Andrew, he pops off the inside and he races away. When they had reverse sort of runs at the start prior, Paul, Resistencia was too good for him. Down on Smash is so much better than the horse we saw in this race, and even the horse we saw when he came back to Hong Kong in April, because he was a Group 1 winner this time last year.
He's just got that raw ability, Pixie Knight, hasn't he? He's only a young horse and he just really stretched out well, and I thought it was a really good, strong win from him. Resistencia did nothing wrong, though. She stayed on nicely.
And she'd beaten him the start before as well. This is last year's race, Paul, with Down on Smash winning, but I think this year's a stronger renewal.
Oh, I agree. I think it is as well. Down and Smash even. He got to the outside here, clear run, perfect ride from Ryan Moore, and the horse won nicely. They went fast and it was a good win from him. I don't know if he's going to get the same sort of race again.
I snuck him into the top 4 simply because he's won from barrier 14 in Group 1, but you're right. Jolly Benner runs a place here. Rattan in the purple and white runs on. That's Wishful Thinker out wide. He's getting down in the grade since then. Hot King Prawn did go on from that race, but he did bash up a couple of oldies in it.
He did. There's no easy Group 1, so fair play to him for actually winning the race. But yeah, I think this year is a little bit stronger. We can have a look at the Japanese horses in track work as well this week. Mark, they've impressed you?
They have. Certainly this horse, Pixie Knight. He worked on Tuesday on the all-weather, Wednesday on the turf. And he actually worked this morning too, did Pixie Knight, and he worked over the 1,200 metres, but he's just a real little dude of a horse.
He is, isn't he? And it was a really nice, well, he's going really well at the moment. And Resistencia, she's arrived in good order as well. Both Japanese are going to be big chances, I think. They both arrive well, and we know what happens when they travel well, the Japanese.
And finally, we'll have a look at last year's winner in Down on Smash, Mark.
Yeah, just a quiet piece of work on this morning. This was on the 8th, and he comes down to the line. Under Yuga, went 121.8 in that race, but look, he's going to have to lift from his last couple of starts to go back to back.
Okay, all right. What about the local horses? Let's start off with Wellington's trainer, Richard Gibson.
Fantastic season with the horse last year. I think he beat all the best horses in Hong Kong. He beat the champion sprinter of Hong Kong very convincingly on this last start. You might have, I'm sure you followed, but we had a delayed start to the season. I thought the horse ran a good race the other day.
Last race, right?
But yeah, it was his first race in 7 months, which is a long layoff for any thoroughbred. And we think we've got him in sharper condition for race 2.
There you go. A super strong trial as well, Mark, for him.
It was an excellent trial, and he's going to be a lot fitter too, because he had that minor setback leading to that last start, 7th pull behind Lucky Patch. He was only 3 lengths from the winner as well. We know as a Group 1 horse, and he's a chance in a very even field.
Yeah, he goes in for me. I think he's going, as you say, there's a lot of improvement from that first up run.
Okay, that's Wellington. Here's Skyfield, Paul, at the trials, and they tried something different with it. Didn't really work.
No, it didn't, did it? So I think they'll go back with him. He seems to run his best races when he's towards the back and with a really good turn of foot. So, yeah, but, it was worth a try to see how the horse would react. And, look, I don't think it really worked.
No, they threw the blinkers on and it backfired big time, so they will not be being in use on Sunday. Blake was able to get him under control and let him coast to the line. This was about 10 days prior to the race tomorrow, so he's had a week and a half to get over from this. But yes, it was a no-brainer, Andrew. As soon as that didn't work with the blinkers, they were never going to be on come Sunday, which Casper told us in the interview after that race.
Yeah, he's still, he's travelled quite strongly to the line, hasn't he, despite doing all those things wrong in the early part of that trial. Final bit of vision we can have a look at is the John Size runners, Mark. Courier Wonder and Hot King Prawn.
Yeah, just a Courier Wonder. He resented the whip last time, which saw him wanting to run around all over the straight. He's a horse that had some very big raps coming into this season, and Lucky Patch has had his measure twice. You know what you're going to get with Hot King Prawn, though, Paul, especially from barrier 2 with Ryan Moore on.
Yeah, he's going to get the perfect run, Hot King Prawn. He's a 7-year-old now. That was just the only query. He's getting a bit old and he's meeting some of these young up-and-coming horses, but he's going to be in the right spot.
He is certainly right behind the speed there. That is Hot King Prawn. As far as the market looks at this stage, Paul, it's Lucky Patch is our favourite.
Yep, the locals have gone on to Lucky Patch here, and Lucky Patch goes in for me. I think he's a good hope in the race. Going to go with the Japanese, though. I thought Pixie Knight, young horse, very impressive, and I think he can win this race. Resistencia, the danger, along with the 2 local horses, Lucky Patch and Wellington.
With Pixie Knight also, despite the fact he's drawn a little wider than what we may have hoped for those going with Pixie Knight, where he could just tuck in like he did in the Sprinters Stakes. Expect Naboo Attack to be running on very strongly at the end. Skyfield from barrier number 1 is going to do no work along the rail. And just because he did it last year from barrier 14, Denon Smash goes in, haven't really been with Lucky Patch right through. There is no doubting that Francis has him absolutely flying though. 2, 8, 6 and 3.
4 and 2 to find out the finish of the sprint. Wellington, I think with that run under his belt now, can get the better of Pixie Night in dramatic finish, I am sure, for the Longines Hong Kong sprint.